Standard 8 Chemistry, Unit, Properties of Matter. Air has mass. Two balloons filled with air are in a balanced position. Pierce one of the balloons using a needle so that the air filled in it is completely expelled. What do you observe? The portion where the other balloon filled with air is attached comes down. What is the reason? Examine the weight of a football before filling air in it. You can see that its mass is 84.6 grams. Now, fill the balloon with air and weigh it again. How much does it weigh now? What is the reason for the increase in mass here? We can conclude that air has mass. Matter is anything that occupies space and has mass. Minute particles present in matter. Put a few crystals of potassium permanganate into water taken in a glass tumbler. What happens to the particles of potassium permanganate? Can you see the particles of potassium permanganate after some time? Potassium permanganate is present in the solution, but its particles are not visible. What is the reason for it? It is because each crystal of potassium permanganate is made up of a large number of very minute particles. Each substance is made of tiny particles which cannot be seen with our naked eyes. The particles of substances can be seen in this way when viewed through a very powerful microscope. Water is taken in a glass tumbler. Add some common salt and stir well. You can see the formation of common salt solution. Can you see the particles here? Substances are made of tiny particles which cannot be seen with naked eyes. These particles bear all the properties of the substance. Arrangement of particles in different states of matter. Solid, liquid and gas represent three states of matter. The particles of solid are very close to each other. The force of attraction between the particles is very high. A solid has definite shape and has definite volume. The distance between the particles in a liquid is relatively very less than that in a gas. The force of attraction between the particles is very high compared to that in a gas. A liquid has definite volume and has no definite shape, but it has the shape of the container in which it is taken. In the gaseous state, particles remain far away from one another. The force of attraction between the particles is the least. A gas has no definite shape and has no definite volume. It has the shape and volume of the container in which it is taken. Change of state. Let's familiarize ourselves with the arrangement of particles in a solid. The particles of a solid are very close to each other. Their freedom of movement is limited. What happens to the arrangement of particles when a solid is heated? The energy of particles increases. Their freedom of movement also increases. The distance between the particles increases. The force of attraction between the particles decreases. This state of matter represents the liquid state. What change do you observe in the arrangement of particles when a liquid is heated? The freedom of movement and energy of particles increase very much. The distance between the particles increases more. The force of attraction between them decreases very much. This state of matter represents the gaseous state. Diffusion. A few drops of ink is added to water taken in a beaker. What do you observe? Put a few crystals of potassium permanganate in water taken in a glass tumbler. What change do you see here? The fragrance spreads quickly in the room when the incense stick is lit. Do you know the reason behind it? Collect the vapors of bromine in a gas jar. Keep another gas jar on top of it in inverted position. What do you observe? This illustration explains how particles of air and bromine mix together. Diffusion is the spontaneous mixing of different particles having freedom of movement.